All right, we just got this GLE 350 in for a pre-purchase inspection. So going to be looking over the whole car, running fault codes, taking off all the undershields, and just checking the whole thing out. First thing I noticed inside the car, whenever I was checking everything out inside, everything works perfectly. All the windows go up, all the seatbelt buckles buckle, all the buttons work. The only thing I found was this air vent is clearly broken. Several of these tabs have broken off here. You can see. So, and then this charging port down here is supposed to have a little cap right there that's broken off and missing. But other than that, everything works and functions inside the car. Nothing's missing or broken. I didn't see anything at all. Okay, so I just got the hood popped. On the back of the engine cover here is super common. One of these clips is all mangled up, and then one clip is stuck inside the engine, which is right here. So I'll just take that out and throw it away. It's no good. Whenever they stick in there like that, there's no removing it. Like, you have to remove it with pliers. And whenever you do, it's messed up. Like the tabs are bent on it, and there's no bending it back. This metal is so thin that it just, like, the tabs break off. Anyways, no big deal. It just needs 2 clips, but none of the tabs are broken on the back of this, which is good. Just needs 2 of these little clips. The oil cap is backwards. That's gonna cause it to run funny. Then looking over everything else, all the common issues on this car, the belt tensioners wear out a lot, but that looks good, and the belt looks good. And these timing covers either looks like they were just done or someone just washed them off. Maybe a sloppy oil change, but you wouldn't put, like, you'd pour oil in on this side, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, you can see the oil grime here in the front of that cover. There's even like liquid oil here, like in that little crevice by that blue bolt. You can see that's like active, you know, liquid, fresh oil. All this, all that grime, all that is coming from these front timing covers. And there's one in the front, oh yeah, even down there it's pretty wet. You can see where, like, that black sealant is, for example. And that's just sealant that is squeezed out of the head gasket. Whenever they put the head gaskets on, you do a fine layer of sealant on these engines. So this coolant level looks good. I'll get on this side. The timing cover on this side is also pretty grimy. I don't know if I'll be able to get a good focus on that, but if I can show some of the grime. Or even, yeah, a lot of times it has it gets on the alternator here. You can see this is the front of the alternator. You can see how grimy it is, and that's just like caked on oil residue. But all of this is going to be leaking from these timing covers, and they just leak all the way down onto everything. But it'll just need these timing covers to come off, clean off all the sealant, put fresh sealant on, and then wash off the whole front of the engine. That's the only source that I see the oil coming from, at least from the front. It is missing this headlight cap. You're not supposed to be able to see into the headlight like that. It's supposed to have a cap like this one. So that's missing. Let's take off. You really can't get into any of these. I guess take off. Okay, yeah, I got this connector slid back a little bit, as far as it will. And there is oil in these. So the issue with these is, well, these are the camshaft position sensors to start off with. You have one on the top of each camshaft, and there's 4 in this engine, so you have 4 sensors, one there, and one buried under there. And this is just the easiest one to get to, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a good focus on this, but you can see it's wet inside there, like on the plastic. And basically it pushes oil through the wires, and it gets in the whole wiring harness of the engine. So the only true fix to this is to replace the engine wiring harness and these 4 leaking camshaft position sensors. And they have revised ones of these now that won't leak anymore. But it will work its way into every electrical component on the engine eventually. And this is the computer for the engine. So this is the main connector block that goes to every wire in the engine. And you can see it's still dry, so that's good to see. It does make its way here pretty quickly. And it's totally dry inside there. There's no oil on any of those electrical pins or anything like that. So it's good to see I caught up before that. But you definitely want to get it resolved before it spreads into anything else and before it messes up other electrical components. So I just took the sensor out of this just so I could get a better image just for this video. And you can see how much oil is on it. but all these sensors are going to be of the same type, and once they start leaking, they leak exponentially. And basically it's not just wet on this connector, but it gets inside like the copper strands of the wire themselves, like on the metal pins, and it's going to wick all throughout the engine harness and, well, spread everywhere, like I said. And I'm sure these two, I'm sure it's rare to see one that doesn't have oil in it, especially one when it looks like this. But regardless, all it takes is one, you know. But so I'll price that out and see what he wants to do about that. Now that I got this air box out, you can get a better side of this engine, which all looks fine. I don't see any issues there at all. And you can see more of like this oil grime that comes from these timing covers. Here's a good buildup of it here. You can see just how much leaks out whenever it all pulls into one place. Well, that's about it up top, really. It's just oil in the wiring harness and these front timing covers. And now let's check out what it looks like underneath. Okay, one other thing I noticed. For one, I'm going to top off the washer fluid just to see if it's leaking or not, because if it's empty, then you would never know. It's missing this label that's supposed to be here, and it's like the refrigerant information sticker that shows how much refrigerant to put in the car and what refrigerant type it takes and everything. I guess this panel at some point got replaced, and somehow this sticker made it on, and this sticker made it on, and that sticker made it on, which they never come with stickers, so you're supposed to order them, and they have the part number conveniently printed on all of these. There's a headlight information sticker that's supposed to be here and here. And then there's supposed to be the refrigerant information sticker here. So I'll see what the price is of those just to get it back to how it's supposed to be. Okay, just got it lifted up and got all the undershields off. Did notice there's one screw missing for the center undershield, that big main one, and then there's one screw missing for the rear undershield. But all the clip nuts are there, like these little guys that the screws screw into. So it just needs 2 extra screws. Let's see, first thing, this hose appears to be just starting to form a small coolant leak. You can see the residue gathering down there and looks crusty around some of these points where like the rubber meets the plastic. As if that plastic's starting to get brittle. I don't want to touch it too hard. But it'd probably be worth getting that hose replaced. Because that is one thing with coolant, is that's the kind of thing that can just spontaneously go. Usually an oil leak gets worse and worse and you can see it. But a coolant leak, most of this stuff is plastic and you don't know when that's going to go. So I would recommend replacing that lower radiator hose. Let's see, everything else down here looks good. The rest of the radiator looks fine. Don't see anything with it. It's got the integrated transmission cooler in this radiator, so it has transmission fluid flowing through it as well. Don't see anything wrong with any of those. Okay, I'm gonna check out the suspension. All the ball joints, all the bushings and everything. That all looks good. The upper ball joint and the strut's not leaking. These all look fine. Sway bar bushings are healthy. Let me check this rear bushing. These are common to fail. You can see how that's starting to rip apart pretty good there. I still wouldn't replace those just yet, but you can see on the bottom here especially how it's ripping apart there. Here. And the rubber just separates. This one too. That's not awful though. But this is the kind of thing that does wear out. It's like slowly, like you can monitor that and see how it goes. But I wouldn't say that's worth doing yet. I would wait to see like on next year's service, for example, whenever it comes in, to monitor that and see how much worse it's gotten. And then sort of either address it at that point or wait another year. But that is on its way out. Everything on this side looks good. Strut's nice and dry, not leaking. That upper ball joint looks good. All this stuff is in place. That ball joint looks good. Oh, sorry. Getting these axle boots, all those look fine. These brake pads, can't get a good shot on the inside one from here. The tire tread looks good. The outside one looks good. This one, I would guess that's about half life on the brakes. That tire seems to be a little lower. And this brake pad too is very good. At least a couple years left on those, I would guess. This tire seems lower. Yeah, that one's definitely way lower than this one. This one's almost new. So that one would have been replaced at some point by itself, which is never good to do, especially when one's this low and one's, I mean, I say this low, but that one's brand new. So you'll probably have a 4 or 5 millimeter ride height difference left to right just because the tire's so much higher because the tread's so much thicker. But that doesn't need to be replaced yet. Just when it does, I would replace both of the fronts in pairs. And you can really see on the bottom here how much oil is coming from those timing covers. I didn't see any puddles in the undershield, so it's not like dripping off onto those yet, which is good, at least. But just move to the back of the engine here, see if there's anything worth addressing. You've got a plug missing from there, from the bottom of the transmission. It's supposed to be a little rubber plug, just like this rectangular shaped one. It's supposed to be a circular one that goes in there. I don't know why that would have been out or why it didn't make its way back in, but it didn't. Front drive shaft feels good. Check out the back of the engine here. Don't see anything there. This coolant hose on the back, that little plastic coolant fitting, you might be able to see right there. It has like a little residue looking thing on it. That is the coolant hose that brings coolant into the inside of the car for your heater. Those are more common on the V8s to go out, but you do see those go out and crack and leak. But that one looks good. I don't see anything to be concerned with there. There is that little trace of what looks like dried up fluid, but that's hard to justify. That could be water if someone ever cleaned the engine bay, which I think they did. I think the car dealership selling this cleaned the engine bay. The owner mentioned that to me. The back of this cylinder head looks good. Don't see any issues. Yeah, everything looks to be in place up there. Transmission looks good. And yeah, I was right when I pieced the service records together on this car before I brought it in and saw that the spark plugs have never been changed, the transmission's never been serviced, and the engine air filter's never been replaced. It also has a couple other overdue items. But yeah, that is right. This is the factory crush washer on this transmission, if I can get a focus on it. You can see between this bolt and the pan, there's a little tiny washer in there. And whenever they spray paint these black, so like the outer edge of that copper washer will be black, like this one is. So that's never been out. So this is the factory fill fluid, like from the assembly line. So that's definitely way overdue for transmission service, which is just the oil and filter change, just like you would do to your engine. So moving back to the transfer case, it all looks good. That transmission mount is a bit low. This is the mount that holds the transmission in the car. You have one back here, and then you have two motor mounts up front. But you can usually feel those going out. And I didn't feel anything in the car, so I wouldn't say those are worth addressing yet. Moving back, drive shaft feels good. Exhaust, no rattles. These little rubber discs on the drive shaft, they tear a lot. But not this one. That one looks perfectly fine. I don't even see a small crack beginning to form. Just check the rear suspension. These axle boots all look good. Sway bar bushings, or not the bushings, but these end-link boots. That all looks good. Shocks aren't leaking. Ball joint's good. These brakes are really thick. That doesn't look like an OEM Mercedes pad, but I might be wrong. The rotor's kind of rusty. Let me get a look on that on the outside after I finish looking at all these bushings. This rear tire looks good, almost brand new. I would say 80 to 90% life at least. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this rotor. I don't know if the car sat for a while or what, but some kind of grease they put on there. Purple stuff, never seen that. No, I don't think that's Mercedes pads. And they were definitely recently replaced because those pads are super thick, like brand new level. Let's see, going over everything on this side. That looks good. All these bushings look good. Don't see any issues back here. The strut's not leaking. Let's wave our bushings too. That all looks good. Yeah. and this tire as well. Yeah, and this brake is the same way. Yeah, someone had to have just replaced the pads only, which is always sort of discouraged, but you can get away with it. But I mean, with the rotor in this condition, with this amount of rust and a ring like this, I don't know if the brake pad's not sitting on this properly and it's not touching the whole thing, because as soon as you brake one time, it should rub all this rust off. So I don't know what's going on there. I wouldn't say it's really worth replacing because they work, but I just don't like to see that. I guess I could quote out rear brakes and just see what they come out to be in case the owner would be interested. He can at least see what the price would be on them. I'm not saying I recommend that, but I'll just sort of leave that up to them. Okay, so not that much stuff at all under the car. So I'm gonna lower it back down now, hook up the diagnostic computer, and see if there's any hidden fault codes that might lead to something being wrong. Okay, just got the fault test ran here. Let's see what's all in it. Got faults in the garage door opener, starter battery. That's probably gonna end up being a battery on this one. Usually that fault code always means the battery's on its way out, especially if it's current and I have a battery maintainer plugged up to it now. So I know it's sitting at 12.6 volts and that code is still there, then it most certainly needs a battery. The front computer, same code for the battery. The right rear brake warning sensor has a malfunction. That's stored, so I guess maybe someone turned the ignition on whenever they had the sensor out, whenever they were changing those pads, and never cleared that fault code. But that fault code will go away because it's only a stored fault code. If it was current, then it's currently there and you can't clear it. Let's see what else. Another stored code. Telematic services. Nothing to be concerned about. The instrument cluster has a communication issue. That's nothing to worry about either. And I'll clear these codes out once I get done reading them, so none of that stuff will come back. The left front door had a code in it one time. Oh, for the mirror heater, these are super common to go out. The rear view mirrors, like the side mirrors, have heaters integrated in them, and the heaters always internally either short circuit or open, and you'll get this code. And it's stored now, but I can guarantee that thing's on its way out. Usually see it for both, but I just see it for the left front door, not the right front door. I guess I'll quote that out too, but obviously it doesn't, it's not immediate and it's not critical. Also, it's stored. But I don't know when the last time it's been on. Maybe last winter that thing got activated and triggered that fault code, and it's just never been cleared out since then. So, battery and the side mirror from that, and that's really it. Let's go ahead and clear out those fault codes. It's in 6 control units. Let's see, start. Okay, this car, if you saw, had 50 computers in it, but this scans every computer. And yeah, the only codes that are there in the whole car now are just these 2 for the bad battery. So that's it for this one. So I'll get prices together for all this stuff, get it together, and see if he's either going to make the purchase or wants to do any of this stuff.